Morning, everybody, and welcome to the, I believe it's the June 23rd edition of the Dawn Patrol. With us this morning, we have usual cast of characters, City Councilor Sean McDonough, who represents the downtown area and back Central Street. Future City Councilor Cisco Maldonado.
Oh, thank you.
And hopefully future school committeeman or something, Bob Hoey, my good friend. Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, we got Karen Cassella coming at 7 o'clock, so which means we probably have some nice goodies coming then, you know. So
Oh yeah, the bacon.
That's why you're so excited to host today.
That's why Tom's here today. Yeah.
So Sean, how you doing? What's got any good news?
No, right to Sean.
I heard you irritated Councilor Mercia last week. That's what I heard.
I did. I just look at. I tried to do it. I
tried to do it.
I know. I tried to do it nicely. I tried really hard. I didn't. I really wasn't trying to be a jerk, but
Yeah, you were. I'm trying to find a clip.
I could have been. I guess if I was trying to be a jerk and not just say it, there are other things I could have said that would have been more.
Well, I get a kick out of, I'll call a funeral home and I'll say, when are the calling hours on Bill Brown? And they'll say, go on our website. All the information's there. And you freaking idiot.
I missed everything, so I don't know what's going over my
Yeah,
head.
Go on
was
the
a-
website, the information is right there.
But
Sean,
if you call, there's a, yeah.
explain to Bobby what was going on with that. It was a motion, was it?
So
or-
there was a motion. Councilor Mercier had a motion, looking for a report on specifically all of the fire department's overtime. Now, it's not that I have a huge issue. It's that I think it was now Mayor Kitcheer. I thought this was when I thought in the first council term, if not the second council term, like of neighborhood councilors, Eric and Corey, and I don't know who else had supported it, but I thought that was where this push to get the monthly reports from the auditor onto the website came from. In the reports, they're very detailed. I mean, well, they're not detailed. It's a Munis printout, actually. It's not like it's difficult to read. It's like 10 pages, and if you know what department you're looking for, you know what page is listed on. You go boop, 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 firefighter, overtime, okay, percent expended, done. If that's what we're looking for. If we were just looking for how much money are we spending, and are we spending on track, those reports we get. And that's all I was trying to say. So now we're just going to add, because, I also have a life and everything else to do, and if I could keep my packet under 200 pages when there's already a regular update, I don't need to add, a narrative to the city council packet if we're already getting the report on the spending, but that's okay.
Off what I'm hearing, like, would a good example be if you took away anything like our overtime, especially overtime, in a prison system. That's all. I can only speak about prison guards. But if you took away my overtime, the money I can make, a lot of people are going to retire. They're going to jump out. I'm telling you, they're going to jump out.
It was the motion was more the motion and the conversation around it was more like if you have a credit card and you're spending your credit card and you know how much money you're supposed to spend on your credit card and you overdraw that account and then you call the bank and you say, how could you not tell me that I am spending money? And the bank's going to say, yeah, so you're updated regularly on the money that you're spending? There's an app on your phone. You look at the app on your phone. It tells you how much money you spent. You just got to look, right? It's not my fault you spent money without looking. You got to look.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess...
Sean, I still think Rita Mercier's idea is a good one, but I would add to it the other two top departments that are way overtime heavy, namely the police department and the DPW.
Right.
So add those two as well. Put them all on the hot seat so they all know, ooh, we're going to be highlighted in the agenda. It's going to be an agenda item once a month.
Yeah, well, but what's causing the overtime? Is it because these departments are not fully staffed, or is it because
It's not my,
there
not my question to ask.
situations that they didn't
Not my
budget
question
for?
to ask.
Well,
It's-
and I think that was the kind of save. The mayor came down and basically said not the police and the DPW piece, but to Cisco's piece was, well, if we're going to get this report, we do. We already get the number. We know the number. It's a 3.5 minute pull up of the number. You go on the auditor's webpage, you click the top link, boom, there's a number. But how did we get to that number? Why are we at that number? What's the justification for the
Sure.
overtime that was used? Okay, I'm good with that. That's fine.
And furthermore, Cisco for years, at least 2 years, I watched all water coming out of the ground that we sent our own people to babysit the project.
Oh yeah.
And we sent other people to do the work, outsiders to do the work. And the people who babysat the project got overtime for watching the project.
They've
so your
cut back on
questions,
that a
your
lot.
questions are good. What's it being spent on?
What's it being spent on, and why is it being spent? Because, and this is the other thing about the fire department that I guess nobody really wants to ever
Talk about.
is that, I try really hard to just be pretty upfront with people, and then I think some people get offended by that, but that's okay. If we're talking about the fire department and overtime and staffing levels, and we all know, everyone knows that the fire department is understaffed. We are not at the number that the fire department said they needed to be at in order to adequately staff all their trucks. And the chief reiterated this nicer on Tuesday night, that It takes 41 people to go, and I think he said he's got about 42 people or something that he can use. It's like if somewhere anywhere between 1 and like 3 people being out sick, they're going to use overtime. And the reason they're going to use overtime is because they don't have anyone else to pull from and to keep the truck able to respond, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to say they support brownouts. But there is an increasing section here that wants to look at the overtime and not the staffing level. So we're not going to reduce overtime. The beatings will continue until morale improves. We're not going to reduce overtime without increasing the pool of people that can
Sean, you
work.
need to define the word brownout, please, for the audience.
So a brownout is when, for staffing reasons, you pull a truck off of that shift. So you close that truck or that fire company. You distribute the remaining firefighters to other trucks, other companies, other stations, and then you're not paying for overtime. You have less firefighters on duty, but you need a minimum staffing number. The ideal number is 4 firefighters on the truck. The minimum is 3 firefighters on the truck. And so if you don't have enough people on duty to put the minimum on the truck, instead of calling in overtime, you would say, okay, no truck.
Okay, so let's say let's pick Lawrence Street Firehouse. There's 2 trucks over there, and 2 guys are out sick. Can I just take 1 guy off the ladder and put him on the engine so we have 3 on each truck? Or is that a brownout situation now?
So if you have 2 guys...
I got 2 vehicles. I got a ladder and I got a engine.
Right.
8 guys. 2 guys are out sick.
And they're both from...
They're
They both would have been on the ladder.
They're both the engine company, just
Yeah.
for sake of our conversation today. Can I take a ladder guy and put him on the engine?
That's a good question. I would want the chief to answer that because I don't want to say it and be wrong.
You know what I would
That's
like?
a good question.
What I would want is a data on service requirements throughout the year, so that if you have to cut back on hours, to cut back on your expenses, when during the year would it be more not benefit, less danger for the citizens to shut down a fire station?
I guess I want to know...
You know what I mean?
Well,
In the sense that, do we have more fires and more emergency calls during the summer? Or can we reduce the number of workers during the winter when things slow down, so that you can budget, that less money throughout the year?
I want to know what the barrier is to getting staff to... So we funded in the last budget, we funded more positions than we have firefighters, right? Mm-hmm. And we still don't know how we're going to get to that 203 number. So the overtime spending is a problem, but one of the easiest ways to address this is money that we've already budgeted for the fire department. This isn't looking even for an increase. This is to say, okay, you budgeted 203 positions. Mm-hmm. Why for years is it so difficult for us to get those positions filled? What's our barrier on hiring? The pay is pretty good, right? So like there's, I thought, I personally have no desire to run into burning buildings. Infinite amounts of respect to people who do. God bless firefighters. But it never struck me as a profession that there wasn't a lack of people who wanted to do it. But maybe there is. And if this is a state problem or a national problem, teachers, depending on your whatever, there's a shortage. So if there's like a shortage of firefighters, or there's a shortage of people who want to be firefighters, it's affecting other communities. I think that's a different version of the problem than if this is something that's unique to Lowell. And I guess that's really where I'm curious, and where I think we're going to find hopefully some solutions, is that who else is facing this kind of a problem? We already allocated money. How do we spend that money on what we allocated it for, which is firefighters, not overtime, not whatever. Like how do we, or why are we having this staffing problem, and it's a persistent staffing
And
problem?
you're asking these questions, and I think that's the problem. Some of the senior members of the council don't like the new kids on the block asking questions, and
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
but-
I mean,
But I
You
would
agree?
just want to, Sean,
Yeah.
is it like 4 million in overtime? I think that's the number I
I think it's
heard.
what we went to last year, yeah. And
Yeah.
Okay.
and we also we overspent. So there was when the last fund transfer was tabled, we overspent on firefighter overtime by about $15,000 because in again, another part of, so we already got a report from the auditor, the fire chief and the city administration all, they all know where we're at on the account. I would like, if we're going to have a vote authorizing overspending or a fund transfer to continue funding the overtime account, we kind of need to be taking these votes before the account is, a day away from bonking. You can project out, okay, we average about this much overtime per week. We're at this number.
Sean, last week, I watched the police chief. Nice guy, very qualified for the job. And he said, we're paying $90,000 for a police cruiser. And the national average is $45,000 to $56,000. Why are we paying $30,000 more for a police cruiser? So I would ask the chief that question.
I think.
What's the difference between our police cruiser and $90,000? Because it's his words that I'm remembering, $90,000 a car.
I think not on police cruisers, but on overtime. I think the other problem is that when your overtime budget is maybe a little padded, which is not the fire department, there's some interesting overtime spending that can happen, and you don't necessarily, no one ever talks about it because it's within what was budgeted. When your overtime budget is consistently overspent year over year, and really anyone should be able to look at that and say, have any conditions changed on our overtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, so we're gonna overspend that overtime account again, right? Like we all know that. I feel like someone was gonna throw a rock at my head if I said that during the budget hearing, but it just kind of seemed like we all know that that's not an adequate amount of money based on the current conditions. We overspent by $1 million this year. We put the old number back in, right? So,
And don't worry about people throwing rocks at you, buddy. Let me say that, okay? It's because since 7-8 months that I've been watching you, you do your research. You
and
know,
that's the point I made. The
without
new
a
kids on the
doubt, Tom.
block are asking questions, and some senior members of the council don't like it.
without
No,
a
I think
doubt.
everyone
Now
means well
listen,
annoying.
if this old dog can teach you anything, right? Look at the TV.
Don't change your ways.
Listen, look at the TV when you speak, right? And don't look at Tom and I, okay? Let the people out there see your face when the TV comes on. We're not on TV yet, really,
And don't look at me. I'm looking at the budget
No,
as
but-
we speak.
I didn't pay attention to what you went through with Rita Mercia, but I'm just going to say, A, get over it. B, just go do your jobs. That's all. Do the job.
Well, she probably should get
I'm
over
happy.
it too.
yeah, I'm over it.
There's one or two that I could say I wouldn't want on the city council, but other than that, I like about 9 of them.
And our old friend Ned Tarmey would say is that Rita, like what they call Irish Alzheimer's, they don't forget,
Oh, Ned
yeah.
Tarmey
That's
would.
pretty good.
Ned Tarmey would love Sean.
So, Bob, you mentioned at the beginning of the show. Let's talk about these
No,
races.
wait a
that are
second.
coming
I'm
up.
going to back up the bus a second. Want to
All
read
right.
this, Tommy?
I'm confused. What do staffing levels have to do with over 100 firefighters who have abused sick time, as stated by Councilor Mercia last week? Didn't the chief say he has reprimanded over 20 firefighters just in the last 6 months? Councilor McDonough seems to be protecting the wasting of taxpayer money. Just my thoughts.
Yeah, so I don't know where you came up with 100. It sounded that the chief did say about 20. And I will also say that what the city is calling sick leave abuse at the fire department is using your sick time. So if we want to do this, if we want to take a fine-tooth comb If we want to take a fine-tooth comb and we want to go through every city department, be my guest. If you want to single out one department for political reasons, because maybe you have someone you want to slide into a spot in September,
Sure.
John,
I think that's wrong.
I got the mayor on the phone.
We want to put him over
Good
there.
morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Morning, Mayor.
We are rainy. How about you?
It's a good thing that rain. We need it right now for the water table. My grass needs it. I don't water it, so.
Markley Data Center needs it.
Well, I demand you just keep it flowing onto the river. Keep it off my property. Thank you.
You irrigate, John?
Yeah, I'm good.
There you go.
So what's
Good
on
morning,
your
everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
So what's on your
morning.
mind, Mr. Mayor?
Let's go over a couple numbers, just numbers, without talking about overtime just yet. We talked about firefighters are 1 on, 3 days off. That means you need 4 shifts, 1 for each day before the shift comes back. Now, the number is you need about 46 firefighters per 24-hour shift. If you multiply that by 4, you need 184 just to do the normal everyday work. Now, every single time we had 213 employees over there, we never met that number. We were always around 203 for various reasons. We couldn't get people in academies and stuff like that. So 203 to 184, right? You got a delta of 19 employees, right? So if you took those 19 employees and you said you got 4 shifts, right? You got less than 5 employees to cover. That's if you have no retirements and if you had no one out on injury. Now, anybody who knows if you have 200 employees, you got people retiring and you got employees out. And that delta is around 10 from what the manager said at any given time. It could be up to 15. If you had 19 employees as a delta and 10 or 15 are out on retirement or injury, you're down to 4 employees that can cover shifts for 4 days. So you got 1 employee each day. Now with 200 people and you're giving out not 15 days, you're giving out 15 days, which is either a 10-hour shift or a 14-hour shift, not 120 hours like everybody else. So everybody else gets 15 days, but they're on 8-hour shifts, so they get 120 hours out. Where the fire department gets 15 days, which could equate to a very large number of hours over. If you take the 15 and you times it by, say, if you use it only on 14-hour shifts, that's 210 hours. If you looked at that 210, they're getting 90 extra hours of sick time use over everybody else. Now, when you look at all of those numbers and you equate them in, you can see where the overtime driver is. And let's not forget, as much as we haven't talked about this yet, in the last 4 years, we have paid for high raises through ARPA money. If you look at a firefighter's salary 5 years ago and you look at it today, you'll see it substantially went up. And with that increase also comes an increase in your overtime cost amount by 1.5. So of course you're going to see those numbers go up, but nobody wants to talk about the increase of, pays and stuff like that to keep people. At the end of the day, if somebody's abusing sick time, Tom, what do they do? Who's in charge of abuse of sick time?
Say that again, Eric?
Who's in charge of abusive sick time?
Who should be overseeing that?
I would say the top brass, the manager.
There you go. So what is middle management doing again? And why is it pointed to the city council on the overtime costs when it's the management's problem for the overtime costs?
Oh, Eric, I got 2 devil's advocate questions here, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, if you're giving me 15 sick days, go jump in the lake. I'm taking my 15 sick days. You gave them to me, right?
Sick time
Yeah.
is not for in addition to vacation time.
So
Or we call it PTO time. Why don't we just keep a bucket of PTO time and say, here's your PTO time for the year, like most private companies
Yeah, but you're
do?
changing
That's the
tracks.
case.
You're changing tracks, okay? You're calling it sick pay.
Less sick time.
And
Right.
Pay you more.
you're giving me 15 days, My kid's sick home from school. Why can't I stay home and babysit my kid? Let my wife go to work.
You absolutely can. That's not what they're talking about. They're saying it's abuse. That's what Tom just said. He said it was abuse. They're saying abuse. That's not abuse from what you're telling me.
Well, abuse is when I call in sick and I go help Bobby do a roofing job.
Exactly.
That's
Okay.
abuse.
So now you just changed the narrative, right?
No,
So
you
got
asked
15
you
sick days.
demonstrate abuse. That's what I think abuse is.
Well-
Mr. Mayor, what do you think abuse is?
I think that you said in the beginning that you had 15 sick days and you would use them. So that's abuse. Now, if you're saying you're taking care of a child, then that's not abuse.
That's how I would do
Again.
it. That's how I would do it.
Right. And I think, John, you're not wrong. I think you're saying what happens is people say they got 15 sick days. But in my lifetime of doing this, in 37 years, I love karma. Because karma comes back and pays a lot of people when you look at it. The people who abuse it normally are the ones who get sick at the end of their career and have no sick time and then cry to go into the sick bank. And that's the sad part of this whole thing is that, 15 sick days in the old days were given basically for short-term disability, to help you in case you got sick. Today, it's used as, I need a day off, like you said, John. It's in addition to, so basically they should look at it all, sick time, vacation time, all of these other days they give off, which every time there's a day off, if you have a needed position, it costs you money. So why are we giving days off like this? 15 sick days is absolutely an abuse anyway for government to give that many days. And I've gotten in my entire career.
I can definitely see paid time off will be the term used moving forward.
Right, I would agree with you, and I think that's what it is. I think we should get to the PTO time instead of having it called sick and vacation, everything, especially if it's going to be used the way they're saying in middle management is not going to do their job and hold people accountable.
And when
And if they're holding people accountable, then why do we still have it?
And when you do change the wording to paid time off, you cut it in half.
Yeah.
You want paid time off? You got 7 paid time off days. Do whatever you want with them. There's half your overtime gone immediately because we both know people who go to work sick.
But can you see this happening in the city? What Eric just brought up?
It's up to the 11 city councilors.
Yeah.
One
but
question for the mayor before he leaves.
Speak loudly. Ask your question.
Hey, Mayor, how you getting along with my friend Sean McDonough here? I love his company. I really enjoy him. I hope he's not a pain in your butt, but at the same time, how do you feel about him?
Sean is by far not a pain in my butt at all. Sean is a person who wants better for people and asks the questions that nobody wants to hear. And that tells you something. When it gets personal, when people say about people's job positions, which I think that's, over the line in my opinion. But I think when somebody comes on as a new counselor, that's what they should do is ask questions. They should not take another counselor's word as gospel. They should learn it themselves and ask the questions. And that's what Sean does. And I think that we're getting some really good information from some of the questions he asked.
And Eric, I had said earlier that I think some of the senior members of the council don't like the fact that the new kids in the block are asking these questions.
At
You
the
agree?
same time, Tom, some of the senior members don't want to be at the council meeting that long anyway.
Yeah.
What's the point anymore? So you just want to stamp through and go?
Yeah.
People, new counselors, all counselors should have the right to ask their questions.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be let's rush through it. And in the past, we had people do that, just rush through meetings. The public has the right to listen. They pay them a salary. And if somebody wants to ask a question, so be it. It is what it is. And as long as it's within, the realm of the council. And I think that's what we do. I think we've been really good at it. We almost rushed through a budget with a $500,000 cut that would have cut all the maintenance to the schools.
Eric, you can't know everything, but I asked Sean McDonough this question earlier. Let's use the Lawrence Street Firehouse for an example. They have a ladder truck and they got an engine truck over there. 8 guys. Now, 2 call in sick. Can I still operate with just 3 on each truck?
I think there's a minimum manning clause, John, that they can't. I think that's the problem is, you can shut down the company, but you can't operate a truck under the minimum standards.
So I can't run both trucks with 3 people?
No.
That's another thing that should go away if you're gonna go to paid time off.
Well, that problem isn't a city problem. That's a federal law, I believe, or state law.
I understand, but when you have so you're gonna pay 3 guys to do nothing?
No, they will switch them to another house that has other areas in need.
So
they're
now we're gonna have
we
5 on a
haven't
truck?
closed houses yet.
We're gonna have
What's
5
that?
on a truck, so let's use Lawrence Street for the example, so you'd have 6 on the leftover truck?
Well, no, we backfill it with overtime. We backfill it with overtime so that those trucks run. That's why the overtime's up.
I understand, thank you.
So,
Yeah.
my only thing is just, I think we are all, some of us, we are all taking the sick leave abuse at face value, and I don't really think it's the purview of the council to be investigating all the sick time, but it seemingly is a passion project for a number of people. And so if we're going to be talking about sick leave and we're just going to throw out statements like sick leave abuse on the floor and we're going to point fingers and we're going to talk about union leave and we're going to talk about whatever else, then at some point I think the idea of sick leave abuse needs to be fleshed out and interrogated a little bit, because when you look at a chart and it says, well, these people used more than 5 days, okay, that's abuse. Oh, is it? I don't know. That's using time. So Eric, Mr. Mayor, and John went back and forth a while on, is this abuse, is that abuse, is this abuse, is that abuse, which I think is a fair question. But that's really not what anyone in the city administration or on the floor of the council, when the passion project flares up and we got to talk about it, are talking about. We just look at a number and we say that number is abuse. My issue is with saying a number is abuse. If we're giving 15 sick days, I don't think you can just look and say, well, so Jimmy used 8 of them. That's abuse. If we don't have any context for Jimmy broke his leg.
Well, life happens. Life happens.
Right.
And there are some
My
people.
question is this, Councilor McDonough. 8 months before the budget, I asked for an outline of all the sick time. Give me all their sick time. We did not get that report until after all the conversations started to get heated back and forth and this and that. And that's the problem. If you have the information in advance, we can have a real discussion. Right. But giving us the information after the fights have already started and everyone's put in a position that isn't good is not the right way to do business. And we asked for that report. We did not get the report. Everything we're asking for is taking a long time to get answers to. And the problem is it's creating a lot of bad atmosphere within the workforce. We're saying sick leave abuse. I can't even say that yet. I've heard it multiple times. There's this many people. There's that many people. Right now, to me, it's all jargon. Until you put the information in front of me and have clear facts, don't give me all the BS in between to support a position. And then it goes away because no one talks about it again because there's another issue. So that becomes now fact. I don't know the fact. I sit back and wait for the report and say, okay, where is this abuse? Who's abusing it? And how are we handling it? I don't know that information even to today.
Yeah, and I get that. That's all I was trying to say, right? Is that we don't get that. Like I'm saying to anyone who's watching and to the rest of the people here, just because somebody in the administration says sick leave abuse, if they have nothing to back it up and it's just a talking point that we bring up when it's politically convenient, and then we don't provide any information when that information is asked for, then it's a vocabulary word. It's really meaningless until there's some meat on that bone.
I got a question from the audience. How many sick days do teachers get each year?
15.
And is there any abuse?
It's way too many.
Yeah, but something that we're not talking, if you look at the budget and you look at the numbers there, everything in the fire department was pretty much on point that was budgeted the previous year. The big overspent was the overtime. So I think it comes down to management, like the mayor says. There has to be accountability for that department head for coming back and explaining to the council or to his boss why the overrun on that budget line is so much, and what did he do to reduce that cost, or what he plans to reduce that cost, or what is causing the cause. You know what I mean? If it's happening year after year after year, then something's not being done to fix the problem.
Yeah, we got rid of brownouts and we didn't increase staffing. You said you have to run more trucks. That's
You know, the schools pay the teacher's side 33 1/3%. That's the going rate if you cash your sick time in. Prison guards is only 20%. And what's abusive, I think management having me go get doctor's notes all the time because I use my sick time. Go get a doctor's note. Go get a doctor's note. That's harassment.
Well, there's also
It's a perk.
I think
It's a perk.
Absolutely, and I think this is also the case. I worked for the town for 35 years, town of Dragon. I hardly used my sick time, and it paid off at the end because I had a good benefit package when I retired. I got most of my sick fully paid me, but there were people I worked with that legitimately had more time in than me, never abused it, but they had health issues that they gallbladder, this, that, and they didn't abuse it. I know they didn't, but
Right.
they were legitimately sick.
But
And
there
are rare cases.
But
like
there
that.
are the roofers.
Say that again.
yeah, there are.
Oh yeah.
But you know something? I would want to know, since they could negotiate a contractor for 24-hour work schedule, I would want to know how that contract change and prior changes in the overtime. Was it once they changed over the 24 hours, and was that detrimental to running that department because the people are not able to work 24 hours? The employees aren't able to work 24 hours, or was it a contract that was negotiated without really looking at all the problems that come with 24-hour shifts?
Yeah, I don't know.
I got two comments from the audience I'm going to read to you. And the first one says, after seeing the encyclopedia-sized budget that Councilor Lang showed us, the firefighter problems seem to be a moot point. And the last comment, good morning, take a bow, Councilor. It's refreshing watching an individual holding people accountable who have been a councilor for decades. That's from Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Yo, Mayor, you still out there?
Yeah, he's here.
I am. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, well, let me say thank you for a ribbon cutting that's coming up this Thursday at noontime at the old Fitzy's on Lawrence Street, which is now Bunny's. Those are friends of mine, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it will be a very fun event. It's nice to see people keep it within the little community and really invest in what we all love, and especially in that neighborhood over there. You got Brando's, you got really, really staples to that area, and that's another one. Fitzy's was a staple, and this one, Bunny's, is going to be an unbelievable fit right back in. It's going to be seamless, the transition.
Eric, before you skedaddle on this, because I appreciate you calling in this morning, because we all have better things to do. Is there any thought amongst your colleagues on the council to downsize Lowell's government? Because we're very top-heavy.
You watched me try.
I'm asking.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're coming up next, Sean. Mr. Mayor.
I think in the end right now we have to look at, as you have said in the past, in every position as it comes available open, whether it's a needed position anymore. The problem is much like the fire department. When you look at the school department, when they take a sick day, you have to have substitute teachers in. If you look at the school department's amount of money that they had to spend on substitute teachers over the last 4 years, you'll see there's abuse there too. And the problem comes down to, if you have it down to a certain number, you have no fluctuation in employees going over. And when you have too many, the problem is you're paying for the retirements and everything else. So we have to have real finances put in front of us and tell us what is the advantage, what's the disadvantage of having these employees. And like you said, John, we got to outline better, because every year, I've used the snow analogy, is one of my favorite ones to use, is that, you know, when I was a kid and I first started on the city, we used to plow the roads, and all you had to do was really just plow in the middle of the road, keep it open a little bit, and there was no complaints. Today, they want it curb to curb, and they want it down to the asphalt the minute the snow hits the ground. So as we've gone through time, the expectation has risen so high that the demand on the government employee is extremely high, so you have to have employees to meet their demand, and if you don't meet their demand, the next thing you know, everyone's calling for your firing.
Well, I think we spend way too much money on snow removal. The fact that we had to be curb to curb during the storm is ridiculous. I like the
I agree.
old route. Just keep the roads open enough for emergency equipment, and we're gonna clean up the snow after the snow stops. We'll get it curb to curb after the snow stops.
I agree, John. When I first started in municipal government, most cars were rear-wheel drive, and you could barely go up hills and everything. Today, they're all-wheel drive. They all got sensors in them for slip and everything else, but yet we need more and more. Every time we do something, the expectation rises, and as it rises, there's a cost that goes with it.
Well, as I see they call it a skid thing. It's a bobcat going around the South Common, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's snowing like the dickens, and this guy's doing the sidewalk of the South Common. What a waste of money!
Yeah, it's a skid steers. Yeah, you're not wrong. You know, the town of Lexington does every single sidewalk in that community at the same time, and they usually get called in like 8 hours after the storm. And then they stay like 8 hours later than the storm when it's over. And I agree with you. Some things we got to manage better and say, but the first time it doesn't get done, you'll have that one walker who will now call you out and everything.
Well, when the city's when the city's in a stage of emergency, the sidewalks are not going to be cleared until the storm's gone. If you want to go out, and good luck to you. But the city ordinance is going to be nothing happens until the snow stops falling.
Management since Bernie Lynch has taken on, let's put out the fires. So that's why when you put out fires, what happens is the cost of doing business goes up.
Yeah. Well, I think the city right now is doing pretty good. I live here. I drive around the whole city. I see my favorite streets like Maple Street, Liberty Street up in the Highlands. It's the back way from my house because I live up in South Lowell. So I love seeing that all new hot top there, and I just go up to the donut shack to grab me a chocolate covered. I drive a long distance to get one, but I've seen a lot of road improvement. I have.
Okay, I got to read this text. Tommy, read this text.
Are you forgetting people who have children? Are you forgetting about women? This is all male talk. Stop being privileged because women do most of the work. You cannot behave this way, talking and debating about such sick time when women are the ones that pull everything together. You are setting our city back 100 years.
I bet you that was a woman that wrote that.
Oh yeah, I don't get it.
I know.
Wait, no.
That sounds like a 60s.
I guess you will take away on Father's Day too.
I'm just confused by the comment.
Yeah, I am too. I don't get it.
I know. I mean,
Mr. Mayor, anything else on your mind?
No, I just wanted to call in and wish you guys a happy Tuesday, rainy Tuesday, and I will be at the Bull Community Charter Public Schools graduation tonight, and congratulations to all the graduates, and hopefully they have an amazing time in high school after they leave there.
Say hi to Bob Gignac for me.
I will, Bob, and thank you guys again, and have a great day.
See you, man.
Thank you, Mr.
yeah,
Mayor.
take care.
Thanks, Eric.
So let's
Just as he's hanging up and is going to hear me, I hope. Just we talked about snow removal, and now you're going to Gignac School. So just to the mayor, if you're still listening, if you could just remind Mr. Gignac not to put all of his snow on the other side of the street's sidewalk. It happened a lot over the winter.
Prove that. Prove that.
Prove that. You want to see the video?
Prove that.
You want to see the video? We just said
Yeah, I'm not,
Hey,
I'm not going to show you, but
Down the corner, we had a new guy buy the building down the corner.
Beautiful.
Phil Nyman's building. And the first snowstorm, he pushed all his snow onto my sidewalk. And he said, so I called him, what are you doing? He said, I didn't do that. I said, okay. So I took all the snow. I love to plow snow, and I put it back on his sidewalk. And he calls me up, and he says, what'd you do that for? I says, I can lie, too. I didn't do anything. And he didn't push his snow on my sidewalk anymore. Because the way I look at this, 600 kids who use my sidewalk. I got to keep it open as much as I can keep the kiddos out of the doggone street.
yeah. I don't know where we're going to put the snow once that construction happens on Hamilton Canal. I don't think anyone's talked about this yet. We use there's two big buildings going in HCIT, and both of them are in spots that we store all of the snow downtown. So It's going to be an interesting.
So, Bobby, you mentioned you wanted us to talk about those, the election coming up. There's some of the new seats. I mean,
Yeah,
you've got-
just what I
and
see.
just to make a point of this, with these races, you could have technically 3 new councilors this coming next year term.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Rita decides not to run, and if Corey and Corey Robinson wins, and
Sakari Chow.
and Shikari Chow wins, you could have 3 new councilors.
Yeah.
Well, 4 if the textures have anything to say about it.
That's right.
Yeah, Sean, you're going. It was nice work. Nice counselor.
I drive around the city before any election that's coming up and
Yeah.
watch who's working really hard. I think up in the Highlands there, that young kid, that's going to be a tough race for Sakari Chow.
Yeah.
We throw Sakari Chow's name out like it. Oh, that'll be an easy win.
Sakari really surprised me when he didn't second or question anything in the budget.
No, yeah.
What makes you think he's going to fight really good down?
Well,
Any better than Tara Hung?
Right.
well, that's what I was just about to say. And if Signs could vote Tara Hung as a winner easy, he's got signs everywhere.
Yeah.
Tommy?
Are you forgetting people have children that get sick? Nobody's forgetting that. We're
No,
talking,
I think-
we're talking about abuse. We're not.
No, I just really quickly, just to succinctly say this, I actually think that, I mean, personally, and it sounds like the panel, and I also sounds like the mayor, I actually think we're all, everyone so far that's spoken, other than the one texter that said it was abuse, is saying you can't just say it's abuse. People get sick, kids get sick, people have to stay home with their kids. The whole thing happens. It's why you get sick time, is to deal with these things. And so it sounds like the panel and me are more in the, yeah, you get sick time, you use sick time. Bob, you've said 100 times, you get sick time, you use sick time.
I'm gonna
I want to
argue.
go back to Bobby's. We
gonna-
want to talk about the
Sorry.
election, but I had a
Yes.
question for you. You and your wife have a little boy, right?
Mhm.
He's sick. He's sick one day. Which? And both the teachers. You're both the teaching. Say you're both working.
When we were
what do
both
you do?
working, when we were both teaching, we went every other.
Okay, so it's not. I don't think it's abusing.
And then
You have a
it
kid that's sick.
wasn't always so we'd say every other, and then what would happen is there were times that it would have been Carolyn's turn, but she had something
Important
big that
stuff.
day,
Oh,
and
you
I
had that,
didn't,
yeah.
or
Oh,
vice versa. It was
vice
my
versa.
turn, and I had 2 IEP meetings, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, if I miss these, I'm giving myself 2 months worth of catch up, so I got to go to
Yeah.
work today.
So, Bob, you were saying about signs up in Highlands. Tara Hung is winning the
Yeah,
sign race.
Yeah, if Signs could vote, but
Yeah.
I mean, he has a tremendous amount of signs out there.
Sure.
Tara also has the machine.
So,
He's got the machine.
yeah,
He's
he
got the
has
Democratic
machine.
City
Yeah.
And
behind
I've
him.
seen
The
it.
socialists. Let's
Oh.
let's go back to the overtime. So
Yeah, okay.
Josh-
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Josh-
I'm sorry. You want to throw that out there? We could. So what? We all line up behind Kevin Coughlin's guy instead. Oh, if the people under 35 like someone, we call them socialists. Let's all vote for Kevin's candidate. Okay, Cisco.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa!
I'm talking about policies.
Quite nice.
that are
Listen,
out
quite
there, all
nice.
right?
Listen, just
Bobby,
And I'm talking about the money that's
Bobby had the
funding some
floor.
of these
Yeah.
elections.
Yeah, the
Excuse me.
$1.5 million in environmental bond that we got for the culvert projects that are going on in the city.
excuse me.
Bobby had the
I
floor.
had the floor.
And I asked.
when I'm done,
and
so
Bobby
think of
asked
what
me-
you want to say.
Bobby
okay,
asked me
you're
at the beginning of the
next.
show. You want to talk about the
Next
election?
week.
We'll talk about
Next
the
week,
election.
Bobby's the host. Payback's
No.
going to be a bitch.
Oh, that's okay. But that's the Highlands. That's
Good.
who I feel
Yeah.
the kid. I think the kid is the one to beat. But Sakari Chow, that's a tough race
Yeah.
for this young kid. And then in my district, I got John Drinkwater against Light. I think I'm pronouncing the young man's
Yep,
name.
and a lady. And a
huh?
lady. Yeah,
And a lady.
And what's
But-
her name? You know the lady's name?
Harini.
Harini.
Yeah, well, the two, I'm sorry about
Like
the whoever
Panini.
else. Light is very popular, I know that, amongst a lot of people I know. But Drinkwater lives in my district, and he's done real well in our district. And watch out when you go against him. 429 unions, all those pipe fitters, and they invaded our city one election. I seen more pickup trucks with huge flags flying in when Drinkwater got elected as a city councilor. So
He's a
I-
powerful union guy, but so is
Yeah,
Late.
I
So is
wouldn't-
Late. He's in charge of the firefighters.
No,
union.
no, I hear he is, but
I don't
it's
know.
nice to have when two guys, are in a dogfight, because it's going to be either one of those. Believe me, Watch out for the power of your friends, your personal friends too. How is your crowd big? You know, and do you have something? Have you done some things? And Drinkwater has done some good things on the city council as far as I'm concerned. And then Offutt, he's done a lot for children around Shed Park, baseball, and this and that. So
Bobby, when you
I
go
think
to, when you go to
people-
a party,
yeah,
I will see people who I know they don't like the candidate that they just paid to go in and say. And I say, "What are you doing here?" And they'll, out of their side mouth, they'll say, "I'm spying."
yeah.
Yeah.
You remember you asked me how many custodians live in Lowell?
Yeah.
And at the time there was 100, and more than half lived out of Lowell. Okay. Well, how many firemen live in Lowell? I know teachers. You probably got, I don't know, 400 or 500 out of the 1,200, and I'm just saying certain numbers. Not a lot of teachers live in Lowell. A lot of retired teachers live in Lowell, and they live in my district, Belvedere. They vote. So and that's where Drinkwater's from. So I know this kid. I'm just giving my opinion,
that's
right?
Bobby, you're right.
That's
That
all we
kid-
got. That's all we have here.
Yeah, that kid there, and I shouldn't call him a kid, but Lee, the fireman, got a lot of support, got a lot of friends. That's hard to beat sometimes.
Well, and I think
I don't count anybody out because now, at this day and age, I saw in Drake at this past selectmen's race, a girl came out of nowhere in less than 2 months to win a selectmen's race because I think people are sick of the establishment. I think they voted her. Phil Tebow, nice guy, put on a heck of a campaign. I thought for sure he was going to win this time, and she beat him. So I don't count your friend out. Arena, was that
No,
his-
I actually I like all
and you know
three
what's-
candidates in that
you
race
know
are
what seems
good.
to be working is that Betts. Am I saying the name right?
She's working very hard.
Yeah.
And I want just a few more, and I'll shut up for
Wow.
about 10 minutes. And we'll pass it to Cisco.
No,
I'm
that's
So I'm
sorry.
gonna text when you.
I'm here.
Yeah,
And
well,
then, and then I had one point I wanted to
I
make.
think Corey Robinson should be an easy winner. I think he's proved that he can do the job. So I think
I have a
he's going to
question.
get in.
Does anybody know whose city council district Fred Bahu's in?
Fred Bahu.
Would he be in Sakari's or would he be in Eric's? All I'm thinking of is if Sakari wins, does Fred run for council?
Oh boy.
I think Fred's pretty happy right now.
Well, I know
to be
he's
honest
got.
with
I
you.
know
Yeah.
he's.
No,
but-
Freddie's jumping off of Greater Lowell,
Yeah.
and so Tommy brings up a good
If
point.
it is, I don't know if he's in Sakari or if he's in Eric's district. You know.
He's
You
in
know,
on Eric's.
I
mean,
I think he's in Eric's.
in the Upper Highlands.
Well, I would say.
Bobby, before you shut up for 10 minutes,
Go
tell
ahead.
us what you think.
Yeah, there's just a few more races. Corey Robinson, I like him, and I think the hardest working person that I've seen out there running, he's an independent, Joe Espinola.
Oh, yeah.
I like Joe. I'm gonna have to start doing things for him, but
Yeah.
he's not a Democrat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think.
That's what's gonna kill the
Although
guy.
I want to see him win, I don't think.
Oh, but
Yeah.
we'll
Okay,
talk
before
about.
we go to Cisco,
Go ahead.
No,
we got
this is
this.
fine.
Let's just read this one
I
here.
can't read that.
Oh, okay, here we go. I can do
Sean's
this
gonna
one.
read it. All right.
I got my bookmark ready. That's why the solution is for Lowell to perform an audit so the city can successfully secure millions in federal fire grants. Federal rules strictly require grant money to supplement the budget by adding new firefighters rather than supplant it by replacing local city money. A clean audit provides the transparency needed to give Lowell a competitive edge, ensuring federal approval so the city can finally hire the exact number of firefighters required to keep the city safe. Okay.
That ain't Bart or Jay, huh?
Cisco, you had something you
Yeah,
wanted
you
to say.
went to talk.
Go
about
ahead,
Cisco.
buddy.
You're going to be mad at me.
You got me.
No,
You got
no,
Sean.
no,
You
no.
got
I'm not mad at Sean.
You said
I want to go
overtime.
back to the issue with the overtime. If you look at the budget for the fire department, just looking at numbers, they budgeted $2 million for overtime. Okay, so they're budgeting for sick time already. There's something going on there that's beyond sick time. Okay, when you're going from $2 million in overtime to $3 million, you went over by $1 million. So there is either a management issue or poor budgeting issue on that department. So that's your problem. All right, it's not the abuse at sick time because it's managed. Labor goes out, negotiates on sick time. Usually sick time's negotiated when there's no money for raises. These are salaries that have been extended over years, okay? It's a package deal. It's a full package deal. Your sick time is salary for your employees. Now, you can't compare government jobs to civilian jobs. Civilian jobs pay more money hourly and give you less sick time, okay? But if you look at sick time with wages, it's very comparable with civilian side, where they get less sick time, they get more money, I think you have to hold the department head accountable for that overrun on that budget line, that $1 million excess, and figure out what is he doing his job or is he not doing his job?
Well, I don't think he's been appropriated enough. I think when you look year over year and you say you go over budget, at some point it's a budgeting problem that goes outside of that specific department head and it kicks back over to the rest of the city. And it's how, if we know we're spending, if we know we spent, okay, we budget this, we budget $2 million, okay, we spent 3, okay, we spent 3.5, okay, we spent 3.5, okay, at some point, that's actually what we probably should have budgeted.
You should budget for $3 million.
But politically, it's more fun to have the fight about it because you get to keep talking about it. But all these overages started when we said no more brownouts.
The city council has to say no.
Yeah, the city council could say no, but then I think we should.
That's what you got to say.
Before it's an emergency, then we should have an open and honest discussion about the implications of saying no and brownouts. We shouldn't just beat the drum of sick leave abuse so that you get the public all riled up. They're abusing sick time, saying no, and then all of a sudden you're closing a firehouse, and people are going, "How come that house burned down?"
If your budget is supposed to capture all the sick time you need, then the fault goes on the budget maker.
Right.
And we have to hold the budget maker accountable. Now, I'm going to back the bus up and roll over
yeah, I'm glad
one
you
of
brought that up.
my favorite ex-cop friends, okay? Cisco. $56,000 for a brand spanking new police explorer. That's what Google AI says.
Yes.
The chief said we're paying $90,000.
Okay.
And my point is that 56,000 strip without the bells and whistles, as we call it.
I would say the $45,000 is.
Okay.
So-
This is $45,000.
So to your argument, John, there is an excess expense on cruises. Who you hold accountable? Who's making that choice? Management, right? Management's
Well, you can say
choosing to
management,
spend
but
that
you know
money
that-
instead of buying something that
No.
does the
Who?
job with less money.
Who picks the police cruisers? You're a retired cop. You must have asked them.
Ultimately, it goes to the chief, the department head.
So why does the chief order a car that costs $40,000 more than everybody else
I
in the
don't
country?
know. That's a question for him.
But and just the point there, you say the chief ordered it, but doesn't the purchasing department, city manager approve these purchases too, or just he can?
God damn it, Tommy, we need these cars. That's what he gets.
No, really, Cisco, right? I mean,
No, I agree, but
Yeah.
but if the
I mean, what
city
if all of a
manager hires the chief, then he's going to say, yeah, the chief gets what he wants. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to hold those department heads accountable, especially when budgets are getting tight. I mean, how about this?
I think the mayor should get a
How about
car.
this? When the chief retires for the fire department, how about we have a commissioner give the chief of the police department, who's doing such a great job, an extra $100,000, and let him run both departments, and the city will save how much? $200,000?
That was talked about, Cisco, years ago. I
Let's
don't know if you
go.
were around then.
Let's go. Let's talk about cutting back.
make
Cut back on the top of management.
I don't think that public safety is the place you got to do that.
No, I remember they talked that once. I don't know if it was in Lowell or Drake, making
It's been talked here in Lowell.
not a police commissioner, what you call it, like a safety commissioner. I don't know. It would be both.
Yeah,
fire,
it's a
yeah.
commissioner, a safety
In
commissioner.
the city of Lowell, I'm going to tell you exactly what that would look like. You could combine them all you want. You could have your commissioner of safety. We'll pay them $270,000, $280,000. Then we're going to have a deputy commissioner of safety for police. We'll pay him $265,000. We'll have a deputy commissioner of fire we'll pay him $265,000, and then each of those deputies, so they can still have all the same assistance they get too. All we would do is we'd spend another $300,000.
Look at AI
Between
says.
$750,000 and $3 million. Oh Lord.
Fire trucks are money.
Fire trucks are way overpriced, and we just need more competition because it took us almost a year to get trucks.
Right.
We don't have enough
But
manufacturers.
it's like elevators and whatever else. It's not a. You got a niche bit of manufacturing.
A lot
and
of
repair
trucks
work.
cost between $1.2 million and $3 million. expensive stuff.
I should have gone into fire truck
You
manufacturing.
know, someone mentioned sick time. The school system, the Lowell school system, has someone that has more than 500 days. Sick days, not hours.
Yeah.
Well, they only buy back 2/3.
My favorite teacher, too. He's my favorite teacher.
Mr. Bomil,
Can Mr. Bomil speak to the removal of the dam in Collinsville? Will it happen or not? Jay.
I have no information on it, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna try to talk about something I don't know about. I had heard about this, but I'm not,
What is that, a dam in Draken?
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, Mr. Depot is known to be associated with Mrs. Zimmy. That's his downfall. I
I don't
disagree.
think so.
I
I
don't
don't think
disagree.
so.
Some people
John
like
Zimmerman was the number one, when he ran for selectman, he was the number one vote getter.
3 times, 3 elections,
Yeah.
3 topped the ticket.
Good guy to
I
have
miss
on
him
your
too.
side.
He lost 1 election,
He was good to have on the show, too.
I think just all the way back to Bob on the rep races. I think what's interesting, not about overtime, on the rep races, is you get 3 races, and you've got, in one race you have somebody affiliated with a machine against 2 people who aren't, right?
Mm-hmm.
In another race you've got 2 machines fighting each other, which is going to be probably your most competitive race.
Mm-hmm.
And then in one race we have neither candidate is really in line with one of the machines.
Sure.
With one of the old, like when you say machine, and I mean I'm speaking of like one of the 2 sides of city politics, right? The teams. Everyone knows the teams. Everyone who pays attention to politics in the city knows broadly the teams. So in one we got a team member, 2 people who aren't really in a machine, 2 machines fighting it out, no machines fighting it out. So it's been interesting to see how that affects, as the broader support shakes out and who thinks who's going to win and how it's going. It's what makes the Highlands race really competitive.
And we'll be back in about 30 seconds, thanks.
Bye.
Wow. Morning, everybody, and welcome to the June 23rd edition of City Life. With us this morning is our usual cast of characters, City Councilor Sean McDonough, future City Councilor maybe Cisco Maldonado,
I don't know.
our good friend Bobby Hoey, and the best-looking Register of Deeds in the state, Karen Cassella, has joined us now. With the
Good
goodies.
morning.
Did everybody agree with that?
Oh, no, I agree 100%.
I just wanted to say something before we get the show going. I wanted to send out my condolences to Jack Baldwin's family, who passed away last week, and also to his name, Scotty McGrath's brother passed away. Scott's brother Don was a good friend of mine in high school, so I know they both. I know Scott watches the show once in a while, so I want to send out my sympathies to them both. So, how are you, Karen?
I'm good, very good. How about
I
yourself?
told the boys they got to play nice. They weren't playing
Right.
nice.
No,
Bobby and I were.
We
but
are
we
fine.
I was listening.
We're fine.
I didn't start it.
I know.
But I didn't
Hey,
Well, he's going to be sent in for a
I
timeout if he
got,
starts it again.
I got a knife right back here, you know.
Right.
The mayor called in.
The mayor called
That
in.
happens a
Oh,
lot.
right about the sick time.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Karen?
I'm good, very
Yeah,
good.
good.
Yeah, yeah, everything's been good.
Yeah.
Now, do you agree with this? We were talking about sick time.
Right.
I abused mine. I'm sorry, but I did. I did.
Self-admission,
But
that's how
no.
criminals get locked up.
This woman right here lived through what I'm about to say. I used my sick time because I was working in a hostile environment. Management just going after us instead of the inmates. It was really bad. And when you're under that type of pressure, guess what? I'm using that perk, sick time. Go striper fishing. Save yourself. No, I'm just saying, there's a lot of issues
That's
behind.
not abuse in my book.
Okay, good. Because if you work in a place like she worked over a lot of years, they weren't getting treated right.
Right. Oh, no, people use their sick time. I mean, there was one of the employees, if they had 35 years, they might have 5 sick days when they should have
yeah.
a ton banked. But that's just, some
Still-
people use it, right?
Karen, do you call it sick time or pay time off?
Sick time. So it's in the contract. So it's, part of their union negotiations.
Do you think
so.
paid time off is coming in?
I would think so.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, sick
You never
time
know.
has gone up because of right after COVID. You have instilled people today to call in sick because you don't want to go to work and kill everybody. So because you have a cold, in the old days, you went to work, everybody got a cold, you dealt with it, right?
Right,
Today,
right.
you're frowned on if you go into work blowing your nose, and that has to account for the higher number of sick times, in my opinion.
Well, before too, with sick time, you would bank it, right? Save it for an illness or maybe a family member, but you also knew you were going to get paid that money back when you retired. Now you're getting 20% of that day. So people are using sick time a lot more than before, and that's a contractual thing.
Right, and then everyone looks and says, "Well, why are the unions using all their sick time?" And it's well, what changed? What changed is management decided we want to save money on the back end, and so we're not going to pay you out for your sick days at the end. And then they went, "I can't believe that they're using their sick time." Well, there was a reason to go to work with a runny nose. There was a reason if you worked in a place. To the question earlier about who uses it between my wife and I, Tom. If when we were both working at Lowell Public Schools, we had the same deal. If one of us was in a school district that paid out more for sick time at the end, and you knew you were going to be there at this point, okay, I found my resting place, I'm here until the end. Yeah, okay, at the end, this pays out at 100% my day, and that one pays out at 20% of the day. Guess who's taking every sick day? The one who only gets 20% of the payout at the end. It's not every other anymore. One's getting money and one's not. You're using it all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I think that's another reason why you do see people taking sick time now than before. So
It was a short-term cost-saving measure, and it turns out I don't think it actually saved any money.
No, it does save money because you got to think of if you're not paying for sick time when it goes up in value. Sick time, let's say today you get 15 days, they're $10 a day. Well, down the road, 30 years from now, they're $100 a day. So, I mean, if you look at the cost, you do save money in the long run. It's just, it doesn't reduce the use of sick time.
Well, I made the point when I worked, in the first part of the show, I said, I worked for the town for 35 years. I never abused sick time. I very rarely used sick time. I was lucky. I walked away with 100% when I retired, but that's gone now. But I also work with people who legitimately had more time than I did, that had ailments, this, that, gallbladder, this, that, and they walked away with no sick time, and I know they didn't abuse it. They were legitimately using it for
Right.
illnesses. And
My
sick-
question has always been, how do you keep track of sick time? When I investigated this a long time ago, now they just hang up on me. How do they keep track at the Lowell School Department's administration on sick time? It's the honor system. What a ridiculous way to track sick time. It's the honor system.
For the school.
When you say honor system, what do you mean, John? Like, just,
I
You
told
have
the
to take your sick
secretary.
day out of your bank.
because when I worked.
No,
we
I'm
had a
talking about
time
Lowell
sheet.
School Department.
Oh,
This is
okay,
what an
okay.
official told me.
Right.
You have to go into the system, take your sick day out of the bank. And if you, well, you know what, I work enough overtime, I'm not
Yes,
gonna
we
claim
do,
that sick.
right.
They can justify their own, it's the honor system, and it shouldn't be that way.
Well, you bang out sick on a computer instead of calling. I mean, all that really changed because you don't need a doctor's note. At school side, you don't need a doctor's note until.
Who takes your
it's
sick
3
day away?
days.
Yeah, on your third day. You
On
need-
your third day.
yeah,
Some
third day,
departments
yeah.
it's still 5 days, but no, you go in. So you log in to the city, at least the school side, could absolutely use with a streamlining because it doesn't make sense. We pay for a number of different software applications that if you just learned how to use one of them, there's a few spots we get some redundancy, but that's okay.
So it begs the question, when you go over to the management side of the city, is that the honor system too? I could never get an answer to that.
But it's not. I'm confused about this honor system thing. If you didn't fill out the form, you're not. So if you didn't click. Okay, I'm out sick. If you didn't do that, okay, yeah, you don't lose your sick day, but you're also not getting a substitute teacher. And at 7:00 in the morning or 7:15, when the attendance office, when the administrator goes to do all the sub coverage, and then you don't show up and your classroom's empty, you just did a no call, no show. So I don't know about the honor system.
Well, on the honor system, how about over in administration where we have and have had employees that go into their office, close the door, take the phone off the hook, and at 3:00 they can walk out of their office and go home.
Well, so this is the part.
That's
this
abuse
is the part,
to the nth degree.
and
In
I had-
administration, and when she takes a day off sick, who reports it?
That's a good question, and that's what I was trying to say with the firefighter overtime earlier. That on some departments where maybe they have over budgeted, or they manage to never get close
No,
to
but just
hitting the
growing
budget.
off of Rita Mercier's idea, let's look at all your departments. And how do we, since I have to buy your sick days back, and I have no problem doing that,
Right.
don't cheat me out of it when you take a sick day. And when you do, and we catch you, you're gonna lose 5 sick days.
Right.
So the way it works in our office, all the employees put their own time in. It has to be approved by me. So I go through everything on Thursday afternoon just to make sure everything's right, whether it was you took an hour and a half, sick
It
time
begs the
on.
question, so I work for you, and my kid's out, my kid's sick, I'm staying home, take care of the kid.
Yeah.
Can I work from home?
No.
Okay, so, how do you, take a sick day out of my bank? How do you know to do
So
that?
by Thursday, they have to put their payroll in.
So I forget to put that in, I make believe I worked.
I will put it in for you. I have to approve it, so if you want to get paid we get paid every 2 weeks. If you want to get paid, if I don't approve it, you're not getting paid.
Don't feel pressured, but I mean, how do you keep track of during the week?
I have a binder, and I go through every single day.
Every day you keep track of,
Because I'll get the email, I'm gonna take this day off, I'm using a vacation day, so everything is charted in my book.
And she only has,
I work for you and I call, I'm not feeling good today, I call you directly and say, Karen, I'm
You can
taking
leave a
sick-"
message on the
Whatever,
answering
but
machine, yeah?
you'll know. that
And then
it goes
when
to
I
you.
go in, yeah,
'Cause
right,
that's how it was
I
my
pull
wife,
out the book.
when
and
my
I-
wife worked down at the probation department, that's how it sounds like what you do.
Okay, Sean, I got a bunch of
Report to
texts
a
here.
boss
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
and,
Sean?
No.
Great. Oh yes, I forgot I'm the
No, I
designated.
didn't
No
read
lemon
the notes.
cookies.
Great show today. Did Karen bring in her world famous lemon cookies? No, she brought in gluten-free, sugar-free banana bread that makes
nobody's
everybody very
touching it.
happy.
I know,
No,
nobody wants
No,
it.
I
yummy.
want
No,
it.
no,
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
We
watch.
want it.
We all used
Grab
to
a
look.
piece.
We all
I'll
used
take
to
the
look.
end.
Cisco.
Just a second, let him read these, please.
We all used to look for someone to cover our shift when we were sick, and couldn't make work. That doesn't happen anymore.
That's it.
Okay.
Mark Chapman.
Thank you.
I know. I think though, with the employees do what for the state. They get a good amount of time, vacation time, and I don't really see any abuse right now. I mean, I know back in the day there was a lot, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
Like-
bringing desserts in for your staff. You
That's
only got
right.
10. Is it 10?
10.
Yeah, 10 people to watch and to make sure you're taking their sick time down and all that good stuff.
I do think a lot has changed. So Bob and Tom both briefly talked about you used to get more contracts are contracts and they're kind of legacy documents. You got all these sick time. There were a lot of perks to government jobs because the pay was not good.
Right.
That's not. I work for a government. It's not really the case anymore. The pay. I mean, I'm sure in some departments maybe it still is. In Massachusetts, especially in this area, being a teacher, it's really not. You paid pretty well when you do out the hourly wage and you say, okay, I work 180. My new school district, I think, it's 185 days, so my hourly rate went down just a little bit. But if you look at it and you say, okay, this is how much I'm making,
Right.
maybe we do need to look at the 15 sick days, right? Like maybe we do need to look at, but then on the other side, you get backlash on if you're going to take something away, it's a negotiation, you got to give something. So if you were to increase a salary and take away 5 sick days, you'd have people that get all worked
I
up
don't
about
want to
the
do that.
salary number going up. You just want to take it
I
away.
want to cut
that
the sick
you're
days in half
Yeah.
and call them paid time off.
And so you walk into a contract negotiation and you say, I want to cut your sick time in half and call it paid time off. And I have to offer you for agreeing to that.
0.
Yeah, so no.
Okay, then
Who would agree to that?
We'll leave it the way it is. Bring in your doctor note until the sun burns out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have in Draker, for example, non-union personnel. They have a policy where you used to be able to carry 2 weeks vacation over. Say if you had 4 weeks, you didn't.
But Tommy, this only exists in government. Over at Prince Macaroni,
Oh, no,
this doesn't happen.
Absolutely
And
not.
this abuse of, oh, you owe me, I have, there are rumors out there of a retired principal at a school had a gigantic, like almost $1 million in sick time was paid when he retired. And that was a big secret. They couldn't tell anybody.
But my point about the 2 weeks vacation, now you can only carry 1 week over. And I don't know, and the person that told me the story says, and you got to ask permission to carry that week over. What's the permission? What, you're going to
Right.
carry? What, you got to show that you're going on vacation? You got to show, I mean,
Like
come
plane
on.
tickets,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Well, what's wrong with the supervisor having to have to sign off on it? Karen has to sign off on it.
No, but ask permission to
Well,
carry the
you,
week
you,
over.
you can say ask permission, but you put in
That's
for
what the
it.
term is. What do you want? That's the permission.
No, not
Yeah.
to use the time.
That's
to
the
not
word.
use the time and carry into the next
Right.
year.
Yeah.
He's saying they need to ask permission.
Well, why shouldn't they?
I mean, I would just
So
use
what?
the time.
So what do I ask, John? You're the guy I'm asking. What do I say? You want permission? Why? Because
I want your permission to put in for all this sick time. No,
not
Tommy.
sick time. This is vacation time.
Okay, you can call whatever paid time off you
Well,
want
there's
to
a
call.
difference. And don't say there
doesn't-
isn't.
Tommy,
He
wait,
doesn't
different.
get
He
it.
doesn't get it.
There's a
I'm
difference. I
trying
know
to
you.
ask you a question, Tom.
You're not getting it.
Trying to ask you a question.
All right, good. I'm not getting
The
it.
reason-
He won't get the
No.
answer.
That's strictly to carry over a week, right? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking
No,
about?
let him ask the question. He's gonna.
It's simply this. You have to ask the boss because the boss knows you took a month off when your wife had a baby. And we didn't write it down, and you know that.
What are you talking about? The '60s? Nowadays they keep track. of
No,
everything.
they don't. Not in
Well,
Lowell.
in Drake they did.
In
In
Lowell,
Drake they
we're
did.
on the honor
It sounds
system.
like what Cameron is they did. I mean, you know.
I'm
John
I'm
still
confused about this
sat
honor
in the
system thing.
60s.
'cause
Yeah,
3
he's still
years,
he's
I've
still
never-
stuck with the 60s.
Oh, really? How do they keep track of sick time for the cops?
You'd have to ask
off.
You're a retired cop.
Yeah, no, they
And it was in
they
this
have
century,
a
not
paper
in the
trail
60s.
and it goes into the computer.
Right.
And do you think
That's
some
what
don't
I
get
said.
written?
Yeah.
You don't think some don't get written down?
Yeah, in the old days, I would suspect that did happen. I don't think it's happening now. There's more accountability in the
Keyword
sense
there
there's
is
more
think. You
data
don't
being
think
collected.
it's happening. You don't think it's happening.
I'm pretty sure it's not because there's still you have to. There's multiple
Well, I'm
check
doing-
and balances
I'm
now.
growing all this off the Lowell School Department because I have somebody who works in the inner side of the Lowell School Department. And supervisors, bosses will say, well, I had to go to a school committee meeting, so I'm taking tomorrow off. And don't count it as sick day because it's comp time. Comp time doesn't exist in the city of Lowell as far as I know.
On non-union contract workers, it would be a contract by contract question.
So if I'm in charge of all of the brooms in Lowell, and my budget, bring my budget to the city manager, and I go to the budget hearing you guys have, do I get a day off for going to the meeting?
You'd have to look at the broom inspector's contracts and see if you got comp time.
I don't think comp time exists in the city. Managers of the past, I've asked if they have comp time, and they've told me that.
No,
I
you
don't
were
know if
tra-
the current manager does.
You were talking about Lowell School Department abuse.
Yeah.
When you had Del Rossi on here Monday and Fridays, do you ask her these questions?
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean, she's,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
she
Yes, I
usually-
do. You should tune in more often, Tom.
I was watching it yesterday. I didn't hear any talk of that.
Well, we're talking about overtime abuse today. If we did, I would have asked her.
Well, I think
If the superintendent takes a day off, who writes it down? And everybody goes, I don't know. And
Well, she should know, shouldn't she, Del Rossi?
She doesn't- she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. She's a member of the school
Well,
committee.
when the town manager takes a day off, Tommy, out in Drake, who writes it down?
Lets the selectmen know. When I was there, there'd be a
No,
letter
I'm
gone.
talking, so you don't know today, if she does today. If she says,
I'm
you know
willing
what,
to bet- I'm
I
willing
was
to
at a
bet."
selectmen's meeting, I went to the school board meeting, I went to the
Oh,
cop
no,
meeting.
I know that
Well,
this
but
manager
hold on,
does
but
that.
but they're also not hourly employees, right? So, if you're a town manager, you're not getting paid by the hour. You're a salaried employee with a job description and a whole set of things that you're supposed to do. Either you're doing the things or you're not doing the things. That's how you.
That's been boiled down to 36 hours.
Well, Sean, how do you know if the city manager's on vacation? Does he let the council know?
Yeah.
Okay, so they know.
Yeah. But even when they're on vacation, this was my point about
And
the
who
salary,
write
the money
down?
and what comes with it, right? So, but on times that the manager has been away, he doesn't turn the phone off, right?
Yeah.
Poor guy's on a beach somewhere, and you get a phone ringing about potholes. I mean, okay, yeah, you're still
Oh,
you're
so-
still working. You're
so
not working.
vacation-
Maybe you're not wearing your tie.
So-
you're not
so-
working as regularly.
Mr. McDonough,
Yeah.
his vacation days don't get written down because he's on duty anyway, right?
I don't know. That's a good
He's got the
question to
phone on the
Wrexham.
beach.
I will put it in for you, John. I will find out
Yeah.
No,
where top level administrators.
No, I don't want you to pick on Goldo on my behalf.
No, not on him. If you want to know where the sick time is recorded, I guess Councilor Mercier opened the can of worms. I guess we're allowed to ask on sick leave use for anybody in the city now. So
Well, how do
why
we
not?
track it? How do we track it in each department? How does
I don't think it was within the
Including
purview.
management.
I don't think it was within the purview of the council then. I don't think it is now. But the whole council, it passed unanimously. So let's go. Let's put them all in. Let's track everybody's sick time.
You know, I already said this, Karen. There's a school person that has 500 sick days. Imagine that. 500
Wow.
sick days, yeah. I'll tell you his name when we're off the show. But
when
to
I
me,
left, I had over a
and
year.
he's my favorite, and I think he's one of the best
And
teachers
when he
down
gets
there.
paid off for sick days, he gets paid off at his last day of pay rate.
Exactly.
Also, no one ever knows I'm joking.
It's
Everyone-
only,
I was
excuse me,
joking.
It's
Yeah.
only worth 33 1/3% for every sick.
Okay.
But
That's it.
going back to contracts on sick time use, you have to look at it. It's very you can use sick time for a lot of things, and it's within your contract. I mean, again, it goes back. This is salary that has been negotiated, and If the contract says you can use your sick time to go to your dental appointment, guess what? If you choose to go to a dental appointment and use a sick day, it's not abuse.
Well, the other one that got changed, and I know it got changed when I was working at Methuen, it changed. Lowell, I don't think ever had it, but it results in a lot more sick time being used. Is you took away the ability to take an hour or 2 hours or even a half day, and you had to take sick time in full day increments, which meant if I know on my teaching schedule, right, that I had a prep at 1 o'clock, and there was 1 year, right, I had a period 7 prep. Period 7's the last period, so you're going to go home. So what you used to do is you would say, okay, if I have a dentist appointment, a doctor appointment, I can schedule that really any time during that last period of the day, put in for the hour of sick time instead of taking a whole day off. Now, if you wanted to do it by the book, you should be out the whole day. In one way, you didn't need a substitute teacher. You don't need a substitute to cover a prep, right? It's a period for grading and whatever, all the stuff that we all do at home anyway. So in one version, you're out, you're costing yourself sick time, you're costing the district no money in substitutes, there's no kids that are ever in front of you to cover. In this kind of blanket uniform, we want to make sure that we're using whole day increments only. Okay, pay for a sub all day. I'm not, right? That's
Yeah.
And I think when I looked at the fire department contract, when I've looked at other school districts contracts, when I've looked at that's one area where a little bit of flexibility on management's side could result in cost savings, because now instead of paying the overtime or the substitute coverage and having the whole sick day gone, if you give the ability to take a smaller increment of time, no, I'm not approving a full day for an hour doctor's appointment. Why would I approve a full day for an hour doctor's appointment? Go to your doctor's appointment and come back to work.
Exactly.
Right.
Where right now the only choice is, you got a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can't come in late. No, you can't charge 2 hours or 3 hours. You got to charge 7 hours or 8 hours, or in the case of the fire department, 14 hours.
And the reason they do that, because it's a liability, so your accountants will say, get rid of your liability so it's not on the book. So, I mean, honestly, all the sick time that's in banks, there's a value to it.
Correct, and you want to get it down.
You want to go down. I mean, if you really wanted to deal with sick time, they should put that money aside and then have that money there when it's used. That's when you go and take the money out instead of your budget.
The other thing, it's not just sick time, is that contracts are more than the pay scale. Sorry.
John?
I'm going to do it. When they're done chattering, I got announcements to do.
All I was going to say is that contracts are more than the pay scale, and that a lot of times, both sometimes in management, which is surprising, but also in the public, and also even people that are looking for jobs with a contract, you skip right down to the salary grid, you look, you say, wow, that's the step, and then you move on as if there weren't 35 pages before the salary grid that gave you pretty much the whole job and everything else that goes with it. So that's where all the good stuff is. That's where the sick leave policy is. That's where can you take a half day? Can you not take a half day? Oh, you got to stay after, for me, right? Oh, it's 30 minutes twice a month. Oh, it's an hour and a half once a month. Oh, that all.
Right. Sean, yesterday they used to call it the total liability to the town. Yeah. Now when you ask a town manager, what's the total liability for an employee? They say, I don't know what you're talking about. So look, if you guys want to talk, shut your microphones off. I'm going to take over this screen right now, and you guys can have some of Karen's goodies over there. Now's the time to do it. Okay, so sorry to Jack Baldwin and his family, Connor Baldwin. Nice people, and Jack, rest in peace, my friend. Nice job. Today is, Wake's going to be next door at the funeral home, McDonough Funeral Home, from 10:30 till noon, to 10:30 till 12:30. Then we're going to go over to St. Michael's Church for a 1:30 p.m. Mass over there. So rest in peace, Jack. Well done. Close this window here. Where's the rest of my stuff? Okay. Erin Gendron sent me this, and she has a special guest coming on at 7:30 on WCAP this morning that's going to talk about financial literacy. So if you want to know more about financial literacy and how to help your kids pay for their college, you might consider tuning in WCAP this morning at 7:30. That's in about 3 minutes. So good luck with that. Tonight there's a party for Anthony Milicisi. Say again? Melissi. Anthony Melissi. He's going to have his campaign kickoff party tonight at the Worthing Attic. That's 141 Worthing Street. They have a beautiful parking lot right across the street. Nicely done. And the suggested donations start at $25 and go up. Tara Hung, he's having a party Friday, the 26th, 6th till 8:30 p.m. at the Sampaio Meese Restaurant, 450 Chelmsford Street. East End Club, they're having a good old-fashioned cookout the end of the month, June 27th. And hot dogs, hamburgers. You don't have to be a member there, just show up, and I'm sure everything's reasonably priced. Always have a good time over at the East End Club. God bless them, good people. This is the Chelmsford Parade, and everything is going to happen out in Chelmsford on the 4th of July. If you want to see a fantastic parade, take your grandkid by the hand and bring a couple of chairs out there and just sit there. It's pretty cool to watch that parade out there. There's a lot of other activities happening in Chelmsford Town Center. Consider taking your phone out of your parking lot, take a picture of this slide to capture all this information. Moving right along out in Tewksbury, this is from Mark Crapman. And their Independence Day celebration, this is the night schedule. It starts at 6 to 9 p.m. There's a live band, food vendors, fireworks. Going to be a great time. So take a picture of this slide if you're interested in going to this activity out in Tewksbury. Then during the daytime, they have food to be had and all kinds of good things happening out at the Tewksbury, Town of Tewksbury Independence Day celebration on Friday, July 3rd. So hope to see you out there. If you have any questions, Mark Crapman puts his phone number down the bottom here. You can call him up and he'll be glad to tell you anything you need to know. Mark sent me this morning. And this is a invitation to decorate your building. All the business people. The Wilmington Tewksbury Chamber of Commerce invites you to participate in a festive storefront decorating contest in honor of America's 250th anniversary this 4th of July. So decorate your building and you might win a prize. And if you think the building looks that good, call this phone number and they'll come up and take a look and maybe you'll win. So moving right along here. The Lowell firefighters are having a motorcycle ride coming up July 11th. We'll talk about that more next month. Today is June 23rd. If you hustle yourself over to the Senior Center, if you're in store for a barbecue beef, get over there around 10:30 with $2. If you don't have the $2, we'll give it to you for free. And we don't care if you live in Timbuktu. As long as you're over 60, you're welcome to the Lowell Senior Center. Back to you guys. Thanks, Tommy.
Karen, we're talking about the sick leave now. Say if somebody calls in sick at the Register of Deeds, do you have a policy, like say if they're out 3 days, you have to provide a doctor's note?
Yes.
Okay, that's how it was
Yeah,
with
it's
the
in
town
the
too.
contract, yeah.
That's how it
But
was.
I wanted to say too, a lot of people, I think, before would bank their time, right? That's the only way you would get paid if you were out on maternity leave or any illnesses. Now, they have the Family Leave Act, right? So the state's paying them if you had no time, so they don't have to save it anymore.
Right.
That's how I feel. I just think that a lot of the younger generation, they're just using their time because they know, A, they're not going to get paid on it when they leave. They're given it that, I get the 15 days, and if I do need time off, I can use the Family Leave Act. So, there's a lot of, it's not just, I guess it is abuse, but
Sure.
they,
You know,
they make it
leadership,
easy for them.
when you work in any place like a fire department, police, prison guard, those type of jobs
Right.
there's a chain of command, and all I ever worried about is the sergeant. What sergeant do I have? That's it. That's how I picked my jobs, around a certain sergeant.
Right.
And then after that, I try to be working for a certain captain, the shift commander, the boss. That's who I would brown nose, and do whatever it took to get his attention. So come in early and work whatever he told me to do. I'd jump and do it, anything he wanted. Even though I was, my sick time, I always banged out on a Friday and a Monday. For years I did that.
Now, that was a clear sign of abuse.
That is abuse. It is. But
This guy
I
would
can't
end up
stress.
in jail with mission statements
I
left and
can't
right.
stress. I can't stress enough how important it is. A sergeant is the most important job, I think, in my structure, anyways, in prisons. But when you have an atmosphere that is always going after you and trying to fire you, why do you think I only did 20 years and not 32 years? I wasn't about to do 12 more years in that hellhole.
Welcome to the post office. Post office is terrible.
No, but then
They
I
follow their employees around like,
Well, listen,
Terrible.
I'm almost done, and I come here to work, McDonough's, and they take good care of me.
Right.
They treat me right. I can get candy, I can get cake, I can get anything I want.
You get sick, you get
No,
paid
it's,
sick time and
it's
paid
not a, it's
vacation?
not a joke, but
7 days.
but the staff that he hired when I got, before me, attracted me to this place because they're just unbelievable.
well, Bobby, you know kindness. And the thing was, you see a little old buckaroo having a little trouble, you grab him a chair.
Yeah.
And you put the chair right behind him. Sit down, buddy. Sit down.
Right.
Take a break. Take a break. Take a break. And you babysit the guy for the lack of a. And that doesn't come easy. You do a great job with that. Buddy.
Yeah, and can I throw this in? One of my best friends, Jerry Begley, he's a lieutenant in the prison system. He lost a nephew that's about in his late 30s, Mikey Silva. He has at 4 o'clock, 4 to 7 p.m. here at McDonough's Funeral Home next door. They have like his wake, and then they have something else at 7 o'clock, like a celebration of life. So my heart goes out to the Silva family. They've had a lot of things like this. It's not good. That's all. Thank you.
Let's put Sean on the hot seat.
Let's
What are you gonna
let's
do?
read these texts first.
Oh,
The way kids pay for college nowadays is the parents pay for their education. Cuckoo.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I think that's the way it should be.
Budget.
That's not true though. They have a monthly payment.
Who would lend a kid $300,000 who's 18 years old, other than the federal government? That's what they do.
Right. Well, they have to have cosigners too. Obviously, the parents are on the hook for it.
No, they just say they're orphaned. The little trick is they'll say, your bedroom you've had since you were a little girl. Now they say, you know what, we're an Airbnb. That's going to be 26 Highland Street, Unit A. It's your bedroom. So now you live by yourself at 26 Highland Street, Unit A. You're an orphan. Who's going to co-sign? The college wants their money. They'll find a way to get you that $300,000 out of the federal government.
Budgets.
That's my
overtime.
take.
Right.
You know anybody who's been rejected? Yeah.
I know it's a struggle for 25-year-olds.
Budgets, overtime, crappy streets. Let's talk important stuff. Swedish meatballs or meatballs and tomato sauce? Jay. Tomato sauce.
tomato sauce for me.
If an employee has a job where they walk in their office and shut the door and do nothing all day, then there is usually a reason. I was told that in Dracut, a former superintendent was caught in his office. Oh, I'm good. Somebody else can take it. Somebody else can take it.
Yeah, that's a little too deep. So.
Yeah, why would you put that out? Let's talk about
I don't read them. I just put them up.
That's the fun thing. You keep putting statements in front of people that have to run for office. They just start reading, and you're too far.
No.
You know,
I want to know what's happening with the hotel in your district. Is that going to be redeveloped and
There's
continue to be a hotel?
No one knows.
Or is that going to be the new senior center?
No one knows. There's no answer. The UMass Building Authority owns the building. Next time a member of the UMass Building Authority comes to the council to sing praises for the Markley Data Center, maybe we can get a question in about the ICC.
My suggestion would be, wouldn't it be a nice development for a new senior center with housing for seniors down there?
We have a senior center.
What's new with the senior center? Anything new? Is it still
Secret Squirrel meeting.
Secret Squirrel? Okay.
So
Hopefully it hurries up.
You know, the person that bought the Superior Court here, he knew what he was doing. And last night, the federal government there passed a big bill that's going to be a building boom across this country. That's how I feel. What's
Nice,
coming?
big, bipartisan
Your place
housing
is going to
bill,
get
yeah.
really busy, really busy.
What's he gonna do with the place, Bob?
I say
It has to pass
just
the
what they
House.
passed. Yeah, I know it didn't pass the House yet, but it passed what the Senate.
The Senate, yeah, it's a
85 to
Senate
5.
proposal.
And what is it?
85 to 5. That shows you they mean something on that issue, and it's probably the strongest thing. As
And
far as
Elizabeth
buildings,
is all happy about it.
yeah, my son's a framer. That's why I pay attention to this stuff. But there's going to be a boom, and it's coming to Lowell too. We're going to have 150, maybe 180,000.
Where are we gonna build more housing?
Well, this is the thing, I was
It's going
just.
up
no
everywhere.
parking.
It's
Yeah,
going
but
up
I was
everywhere.
looking at the numbers in our office, and you would think because of the ADUs that more of the permits and decisions would be pulled. We have less this year than the year before. So
can
it
see
does.
that.
So I don't really know. Affordability is a huge thing. No one can afford to put on these ADUs
Right. That's going to
So-
cost you about 150 grand.
easy, if
Yeah.
not more.
Yeah.
So I don't really think we're, and there's no room to build here.
But there's a lot of money coming. You know how that government spends money? I think they're going to put up places just so people don't have to live in a cardboard box. They might turn that into that here.
Bobby,
You never know.
we just keep ignoring mental illness. You can give a guy who's mentally ill
Mm-hmm.
$10,000 a month, and he'll blow it up. He's not going to buy
Right.
himself a house.
Right.
He just doesn't have the capacity to do that. And it's the government's job, because nobody else wants to do it, is to manage these individuals who just can't manage themselves.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you could go to California and build housing for 40, 50,000 people, and you'll still have 40, 50,000 homeless
In
people.
California, they're building these little houses, and the people who move in are selling the microwave oven, selling the bed, anything that's
Ridiculous.
not anything they can get out of out of their little unit. They're selling for drugs.
Right.
Well, but not related to that, but related to the building housing. It's we always do this every time we start talking about housing. Both camps and everybody else in the conversation goes into the housing crisis, homelessness, and it's not your market rate apartments that are being built are not doing that. That's not what it's for. What it is doing, though, there's two things. One, it's giving people a place to live that's closer to their place of employment. I have a lot of friends who live on the wrong side of Manchester and are driving to work somewhere in Massachusetts, and they would love to be able to afford somewhere down here, actually, right? Like nobody wants a 45 to 90 minute to 2 hour commute, depending on what they do for work. Lowell is in a really nice spot for commuting to a good number of pretty well-paying jobs. I know a lot of people in the city get stuck on where are the jobs in the city? How come they're not in the city? Where are the jobs in the city? We got to build whatever.
Yeah, why do they have to our custodians live out of town?
So that's fair. No, I'm talking about people that work in private business. I know it's hard. We always just talk about government workers on this show, but
That's the only, we can't talk about Prince Macaroni employees. We'll get sued. That's why we always pick on the government, because they can't sue us. That's the
But-
reason media does it.
But what I'm saying is that in the 495 belt, in the greater Lowell area, you have a whole number, and it's why I keep chuckling at the Link thing. I'm glad the Link thing, go Link, but all these defense contractors that are apparently going to set up these satellite offices in Lowell, they already have really large footprints. A lot of people who live in the city already work for these places in Billerica, in Chelmsford, in Andover, in Bedford.
Yep.
There's a couple other ones. It's a major employer, and they pay well.
Yeah.
They pay very well, and they live in the city. My building is full of aerospace and mechanical and computer engineers that all work for weapons manufacturers, and they're nice people. It's what they do for work. They make weapons, but that's okay.
We're really gonna miss Raytheon, because Massachusetts pissed off Trump, and Raytheon knows they're not gonna get any business for their Massachusetts plants.
But my point here is that as more housing is built in the city, it does, one, get filled. Lowell is a desirable place to live. It does help with the rest of our tax rate, and it is closer to what the city really is, which is we are more of a place that people live than we are anything else, and we can't rewind the clock on that.
Sean, the only bitch we have in the city is we need to have parking for our new neighbors. Selling it like the beautiful
I agree with you.
courthouse we have down the street, whatever they're gonna turn that into. There's a lot of grass.
Right.
Let's take away all the parking and just create condos down there with zero parking.
They have a certain
That's what's
measurement.
legal in Lowell, Massachusetts.
I know.
That's what your planning board will approve. And it's not, and there's not a mindset amongst your colleagues on the city council to change it because they say it's the law. And the guy who telling you it's the law always caves under pressure.
Yeah, I don't think that I would be with you in a heartbeat on that. I don't think we have the votes.
You gotta bring it up. You'd be surprised when they're checking. Let's reevaluate the parking situation in Lowell and let them vote no.
Well, and we're already compliant. So we could move the MBTA area in the city and then be able to fix our parking requirements, is my understanding, is that there's...
We're gonna wait till we use up every blade of grass in
I
the
know.
city before Tommy Golden decides, because he's got a bunch of people who surround him. He's got the votes. And the only thing that can embarrass your colleagues to voting for their neighbor's interest, not their manager's interest, is to embarrass them during the city council
Well,
meeting.
and I've said this to a couple of my colleagues, is sometimes in Lowell, there's always been an instinct to have unanimous votes, and if you know something's not going to pass, you don't bring it up. But I am of the belief that we're at a point where I want people to go on I don't presume to know how anyone's going to. I just did. I don't think we have the votes on the parking minimum, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't bring it up. Other than that, and that's not from talking and back, or that's just kind of like read the room. I don't like that. I think, read the room, but that's what open public meetings are for, and I think if that's what people believe, then defend it. That's fine. It's not personal. I don't care. If we disagree on something, we disagree on something.
Right.
It shouldn't be a personal issue, but I think that, voters in the city, people who live in the city, have a right to know where we all stand on these issues that they care about. So even if you think you're going to lose, sometimes it's worth it to have the fight on the floor and see where it shakes out.
Well,
At
they
least make people vote on it.
They should absolutely look into that area
Yeah.
because that jurors parking lot is full. There's like 25 cars a night, which means this area is already jam-packed with people.
And then we get the
Isn't-
cardboard building with the stuff peeling off the side of it at the bottom of the connector is going to add even more.
Oh, yeah. So,
I forgot, you're in the new building, right?
yeah, we're in the new
Jesus,
building.
I keep
Yeah.
thinking you're over here.
No,
that's
no,
right.
no.
Crazy.
But if you drive by,
Yeah.
there's cars there, which means there's no room right now. So
Yeah.
if you're going to stick another, renovate the courthouse, and if you decide to build on that jurors lot, because there is enough land, I would think, now where are they all going to park?
That was part
That's
of the package,
even,
right? When you
Yes,
bought,
yep, that was.
Well, and then what happens, because the other lever we have is you can almost guarantee that anyone that's going to go try and build housing is going to come to the city looking for a tax incentive. And what we could do is not give them one without certain restrictions being
Right.
met that are out. But then what will happen, and you can hear the argument being made, it happens every time, is somebody who works either for the city or someone who works wherever is going to come in and we spent a really long time on this plan and we worked so hard and so that's why, so please you have to because I spent time on this.
Sure, it'd be good if you get them to look at it, but you have a planning board. One of the members was kind enough to pull me aside and say, John, it's all about revenue for the city. We're gonna vote everything in because we wanna keep our seats.
Well, then how about recording the tax liens and making everyone pay their taxes?
Right?
There's an idea.
Well, our friends
that will
don't-
bring in revenue if we could just
Our friends
record
don't-
them.
Our friends don't have to pay.
No one's paying because
Sean?
no one's recording them.
People are moving out of Massachusetts. The southern states are booming with people from Taxachusetts. Please don't forget to mention, if the downtown area was filled with the city commercial growth, that's a plus to the community. It's true. Did Bob notice the delicious-looking tenderloins on sale this week at Market Basket? Bart.
No, I did. A couple of steaks, yeah.
So we only got 15 minutes left. Karen, is there anything on your mind you wanted to make sure we got out there today?
No. I was just thinking though, why the city and the towns aren't recording tax liens. I know that there is a,
Well, they want to look poor. It's, right now, they want to look very poor.
How did you ever
And they
make
have
out
to
with
re-
that?
well, they are poor.
They have to record cash on hand. If that cash comes tumbling in, they don't want it on the books right now.
True, but I mean, we've done this for years and we still haven't seen anything since, I think, 24.
I'm not saying it's right, it's wrong.
Right,
And, because we make a decision in December, we don't send out bills in December.
right.
Because it's just, we don't. And the city, they don't care. I lost my job, my dog died, my wife's got cancer. Give me your tax money.
Right.
City doesn't care. Give us your tax money.
Well, I think the argument they state is that they're not sure. There's a new ruling from the Supreme Court, which is fine. I get it. You're not sure how you're going to handle the situation. But in the meantime, you don't record the liens, so we don't care.
There should be a lien on the.
Exactly. If you don't pay your tax, it should be recorded.
So
End of story.
who
So-
does that? I want to pick on a department. Who in the town, who does that? Does the manager's office, the solicitor's office, who usually?
No, it would be the
The
tax
clerk.
collector.
The tax collector. Ooh.
Right.
The tax.
Right.
But, I mean,
Too
it's
busy,
just
too busy
He's
laying off
under-
30-year
our under-
employees.
So ask about the underperforming treasurer. Isn't it your guy? Do you hire the treasurer?
No.
Okay. Ask about the underperforming treasurer.
Yeah. The treasurer's office is one of those areas that took a almost 30-year employee and canned him.
Yeah?
Yep.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I guess he doesn't record the
But it's
taxes
not
either,
even
so
just
interesting.
Lowell. I'm saying a lot of the towns still
You mean
haven't.
Drake it?
A lot of the towns haven't recorded their tax liens either. I think, but I get you're trying to figure out how your next step is on how to, get the money and what's going to happen. I don't think you're going to be able to foreclose anymore like they used to, or sell the liens. Lowell was selling liens in bundles.
Yep.
But I don't think that can happen now with this new case, this court case.
You can only recover what you're owed. was my
Exactly,
understanding.
exactly.
So you can't.
But which is fine
Right.
if they just understand that, but still put that lien out there, make the person accountable, and even work a deal.
Well, and
But
some of
Make
these.
someone start paying their taxes, well, so we don't have to keep raising everyone else's taxes.
Right, for the
that's all.
freeloaders.
Right.
And when you look, because the argument is, part of the argument is, oh, well, it's costly and we can only recover what we're owed, and so, and where this came from was, people losing their home on a $500 water bill
Right.
or whatever, right?
And you'll see those small ones, yeah.
And you will, but what you'll also see, and the list is public, is when you look at the list, you do see $43,000, or you'll see one property owner who has a number of properties doesn't pay taxes on any of them, and it's again tens and tens of thousands of dollars per property. Those are probably worth collecting, right?
Just
at
go
a
on.
minute, at a minimum.
We only got 10 minutes left. Bobby, anything on your mind you want to make sure we talk about besides
No,
the beef at
not at
Market
all.
Basket?
No, I like
Karen,
that.
how did you
how
make out with
collect the
that?
taxes?
Hey, wait a second, Tommy. How about you, Cisco? Anything you want to get out there?
No, I think you guys got a subject that we need to dig
Sean,
more
anything
into.
on your mind you want to get out there before we run out of time?
No, I'm sick leaved out. I might bang out sick next week.
Back over to Mr. Bomil.
I was just going to ask you, how did you make out with that issue you were having with Drake? You had talked to me about.
Oh, yeah.
Did that work out okay?
It certainly did,
Okay, 'cause
yes.
I know you were
Yeah.
waiting to talk to the town manager. and
That
all
was the,
stuff.
yeah, so it's Drake and Bill Ricker both had a,
But really?
Oh, yeah.
So you straightened it out?
yeah, well,
Okay.
Drake, it's fine.
Yeah.
Bill Ricker, I don't know that we've,
Yeah.
fixed that one yet, but we're working on it.
Sure.
They're aware, so that's all we
You're in a
can do.
meeting tonight, Sean?
No meetings. there.
Summer schedule, right? Yeah.
Summer vacation.
Wow, that's nice.
I heard you bought a new beach house at Seabrook,
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
Don't start rumors.
There he goes. There he goes.
And,
Nobody-
and in
I'm just
fact,
kidding.
It'll be
and
all
in
over the
fact,
place
we're not
now.
this is the first year we're not going to the beach
Really?
because the house that we rent is for sale.
Oh no.
Oh,
So they're
wow.
not renting it this summer. So rather than go down and find a place, I just said, let's forget it this year.
Sure.
So we're going up north.
Good for you.
Change of scenery,
Go to Puerto Rico. I got a couple weeks in August. Yeah.
right?
Cheap.
What's your oldest?
The flights are
What's
cheap
your
right
oldest
now.
grandchild? How old now?
Sophia will be 5. Yeah.
She
So
going
she's
up
going
north?
into I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be
She's going into kindergarten in September. She's going to the Hellenic.
Can't
So,
believe 5
The
years
Hellenic?
ago.
yeah, she's
Wow.
going to the Hellenic. Yeah. Yep.
That's the way to go. If you can afford private schools like that, that's
Absolutely.
the way to go.
Well, I
Absolutely.
think too with the kids that the price of daycare.
Yeah.
So you actually are saving money, and you know, it'll be good.
Well, that
for
was the
her.
thing. Everyone cared so much about my employment, but the amount of money we saved for
Right.
just a couple of months
Yeah.
to get us until, because so now Declan turns 2 this weekend, so the cost of childcare goes
Right.
under 2 is somewhere way up here. 2 is about here. Once you
Right.
hit 3, you go to 3K.
Wow.
Okay, 3K is the cheapest. It's almost preschool. It's three preschool. Yeah.
I
I
know.
the
feel,
cheap
I
one.
feel really bad for people that don't have their grandparents around,
Right.
you know, because that saves them a lot of dough.
A lot of grandparents are still working.
Yeah, my wife gives a lot of time to the 5 grandkids, believe me.
Sean, you want to read these two?
The Lowell Post Office has the greatest employees. They're always very, very friendly behind the counter. Pass it along to the
that's
feds.
Marty Laurie.
Yeah, yeah.
All day long, yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, Marty.
Great show today. We had food talk, budget talk, even a mention of the show's past host, Ned Tarmey.
Ned Tarmey, that's right.
Jay.
Yeah.
God bless.
That's funny.
Well, speaking of the post office, I mailed out my father's Father's Day gift.
He still hasn't got it.
He didn't get it yet. I think it was July 12th.
That's
I mean, not July 12th, June 12th. He still has not received it. I know he lives in Florida. But come on.
You should have booby
Did you send it? Did you send it priority? Like they have that priority thing where you pay a little extra, but you can they guarantee.
Yes.
They all have
Wow.
tracking. They all have
But
tracking.
I mean, it's
What does
come
tracking
down-
say it is, Karen?
I didn't even look at it. My father said he called me. He messaged me Saturday and said, thanks for the golf balls. I'm like, I didn't send you golf balls. So he was saying, oh, you're the only one that usually sends something. And then I said, no, mine, I have something else. And then Sunday he's like, still didn't get it.
Wow.
So
But that's where we're at.
There's a
We're-
tracking number that will tell you exactly where that is. If you look at the receipt.
on the receipt, yeah, I'll have to look at
Yeah,
it.
but that's where we're at with the bar has been set so low for any standard. It's just like, yeah, that's fine. You know, the mail can take a week now, and it's
We call
fine.
it snail mail.
Yeah, no, it's can you imagine not too long ago you could mail something out and they would get that mail the next day in the local town. I would bring it to the mail
Right.
box, and I know that if I wanted to mail a birthday card to a friend in Chelmsford, they would get it the next day. Today, they don't get it for 5 days after.
Right.
Unbelievable.
So you can
Wow.
put your tax money in the mail and give it another week, right? You know,
Yeah.
your check won't clear. Your
Yeah.
check won't
Yeah.
clear the next day.
Oh,
But
boy.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
What else are we doing for the summer? What do you got planned, counselor? Some social
We got a couple.
rallies?
Yeah.
You gonna have a party this summer?
I got
You
one.
gotta have a fundraiser.
I gotta have a fundraiser this summer. I haven't
You
planned
gotta.
it yet. I
Yeah,
need.
You don't need
Well,
any
let
money.
us know.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna get my
You
money.
gotta have a
now.
I don't want your money.
Okay. You want my money. I know you want my money. I'll
All the
give
money
you my
spends. All the money spends the same. I do need to have a fundraiser. I
You
got nothing
should.
planned yet. I am not going to use AI to generate.
Are you going
my,
to use DJ
my
Cisco
poster.
at your fundraiser?
I don't know.
He'll donate his time.
I don't know. We got a couple of vacations planned. I got
Where you going on your vacation?
no.
No?
He's going to the open
I'm
space.
hiding. I'm
He's
gonna go
going to
hide
open-
somewhere.
He's
Yeah.
going to go open
Put a pair of
space
sunglasses
downtown, South Common.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make
You
some
know,
parking
with a
lot
tent.
angels.
Talk about the South Common. I went by there this morning coming down here, like I usually do about 5:30, 5:45. There wasn't nobody on the Common.
No, it's
there
nice.
was nobody on Appleton Street. Where
The
are
rain.
they?
I don't know.
Where they go? I mean,
They're probably inside the Bishop Markham.
yeah, because there was nothing. I'm saying,
Stairwells.
I thought something happened. You know?
Yeah, we got a couple trips, and then I don't know. I'm back to work. Rich Howe's column was wrong. I said late August, not September. I think like August 24th or something this year. It was early.
They
It
had
was early.
You made a column. Whose column?
Rita's comment about me in the job and
Oh, gee.
but I didn't have. I've gotten every job I've ever gotten. I've gotten on the. I'm not saying anyone hasn't. I'm saying every job I've ever had. I get on the merits and on applications and licensing and qualifications. So, and that's not. That's not at
I know
anybody.
what you're
It's
saying.
just-
I know
yeah.
what you're saying.
But Counselor,
It takes time. It takes time, and it takes time to do it. And it's always. It's. I'm sure it's easier to, make a phone call and get a job, but that's just not how it should be.
Right.
You know,
It's not how it should be.
people my age paid like 70,000-80,000 for their home. And people my age didn't care about a lot of things because nepotism was there. I got walked right into a prison job.
Right.
My uncle just basically took me by the hand and brought me in.
you had a counselor call for
Nice,
you?
nice affluent. I got a nice affluent school district. My pay's going up. Sick time's the same. I'm
Good.
feeling,
Don't
I'm
abuse
feeling
it.
pretty good.
Don't
Yeah.
abuse
And my not uncle will be happy to know that my new start time is like 9:00 in the morning.
Hey,
So I'm
tomorrow's-
probably still coming in.
Oh, look,
Really?
look
Cool.
who's coming in
We're
tomorrow.
not going to lose them.
Yeah, plus my-
Rita Mercy is coming tomorrow. Linda Bound will be the host, and Mike Dillon Jr. That's tomorrow.
I
City Life.
bet you I know what they're gonna talk about.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
say
know.
anything
This
bad.
But we're not going to lose them. That's
No.
good,
No,
Bobby.
that's good, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Start time's 9 a.m. Yeah,
That's
let's
great.
go.
Last text of the day.
I tell my kids, back in the day, you had to sign to receive a package. He looked at me like I was kidding. You still do if you get it from the post office. It's just you can have an Amazon guy throw it at your door. And
Yeah, if you remember a few years back, there was a big fight with the union. They had people going behind mailmen, measuring how many steps they're taking and everything. Oh, really?
Oh, it's
They
horrible.
still do that
I'll watch it.
today.
They still do.
They still do that
Yeah,
today.
they do. Yeah.
When they show up and there's an inspector with them, I go, just a second, I have to see if, I try to hold them up as much as I possibly can when they have the inspector with them.
I don't care what, now you point, lady had a beautiful
There-
flag, 250th birthday party for America. I said, where'd you get that? And she goes, Amazon.
Right?
Of course.
I know.
everything.
That's all you
Well,
do.
it's
I'm
easier
telling
when
you.
you're in a
It's
jam.
so easy. It's so easy.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than some,
Right.
oh, man. It's so.
Absolutely.
I always
I just
like
had
So
a
we got a minute to go. Thank you all. Sean, thank you.
Always fun.
Cisco, be
Well,
nice
it
to
was
Sean
a-
next week.
No,
Right.
You're the host. No, Bob's the host next week.
not getting
coming?
my money.
No, we take
Oh, all
turns.
right. Okay.
So Bob would be the host next week.
Yeah,
and,
Bob.
yeah.
Oh,
Now,
hosting
people are
duty.
telling me the city's gonna be closed the second, third, next week, the city's gonna be closed.
Fourth of July.
We're gonna have a show every day except, we'll probably have it on the third. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I gotta talk to Cliff.
We're
You
on
mean
vacation.
City Hall's closed on the second? Is that what you're
City
saying?
Hall, I'm told City Hall's closed on the second. They're going home early on the first.
Sean,
And
is
they-
that true?
I haven't heard anything.
That's
I'll be the last to
This
know.
one's dead.
That's what one of the city tattletales sent me a text.
Well, we're in all week.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, kid.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Karen.
Have a great day.
I was joking.
I gotta go.